Hello everyone, welcome back to the Jimvitational Round 2. My name is Wild Rumpus. Still got, sick frog voice, but we're going to work through it. We have Caloom versus Empo. Caloom actually, I covered on their previous round match, and they unfortunately lost to Jabba. This is a loser's bracket match. Empo, of course, an extremely talented player, but I believe the loser of this game will be knocked out of the tournament, and the winner will move on in the loser's bracket. But anyway, let us jump right into game one. So we have a Mence lead versus a Starmie lead. Of course, Starmie going to threaten Mence immensely with a potential Ice Beam. Instead clicks Hydro Pump on the Registeel switch. Misses the second pump, as Registeel just going for a Thunder Wave. With Natural Cure, Starmie doesn't really mind that so much. It's full Parrot, actually. And Seismic Toss doing a lot to Starmie, because, quite low base HP. Out comes Skarmory. Gonna likely set down a Spike here on a Thunder Wave. Does, in fact. Okay. Now what? We see the Sand come up from Empo's side on another Seismic Toss. So the Regis do learn Superpower, so that can be a potential threat against T-Tar. Instead, just spreading that para. Takes 50% from an Earthquake for it, but is okay with that. In comes Claydol on the Earthquake. Gonna likely spin here. Does do exactly that. As the Hidden Power Bug comes out, does just shy of half. With leftovers, not really in range anymore, but doesn't want to take that chip. Nice Rock Slide call out from Empo. Does hit Skarmory more than it would otherwise. And Thief is going to remove the leftovers from Tyranitar. But notably with that Thief, Skarm wasn't able to get that spike up. Switches out on the Focus Punch, and down goes Registeel. In comes Claydol. So that T-Tar does not have leftovers anymore, but it did get a lot of damage and value. And I mean, it's still pretty much full HP. Okay, in comes Zard on the Starmie double. Definitely keeps this Zard in check. Out comes Skarm, and down goes Skarm. That can be the trouble with Thief Skarm, is a lot of the time you feel pressured with that one turn you have. Oh no, and the pump lands and just takes out T-Tar. It's just over. Wow. I mean, yeah, very offensive Starmie weak team here from Caloom. Mence drops to Ice Beam. Claydol drops to Pump. So does Zard and T-Tar. And then Skarmory can take like a couple of hits. Same with Registeel, but there's no real, strong resist here. There's no Blissey, there's no Snorlax, nothing of the sort. So offensive Starmie was a great bring here from Empo. Wow. But yeah, the Thief Skarm, sometimes, you just feel pressured to click that move turn one when you really like to be spiking instead. And sometimes it works out, but in that game, not so much. Anyway, explosive first game from Empo. Let's see if Caloom can bring it back here in game two. We have Suicune versus Jirachi lead. Toxic from Jirachi on the sub. Okay. And sub lead Suicune, not super likely to have rest. So that Toxic could be a big deal. We'll have to see. It is Calm Minding anyway. On the Wish, Surf doing about half. Surf does maybe say rest a little more than a Hydro Pump, for example. Hydro Pump, you're really just looking to get as much damage as possible, but a Surf, you maybe want to stay around a bit longer, have some more PP. Anyway, we have the defensive Zapdos in on the Charizard Flamethrower. We're going to click Roar on Regice. And in comes Suicune, which is not who Caloom wanted to come in against Zap. Honestly, nor Charizard for that matter. So without spikes, the only progress this is being made is a little bit of Toxic Chip on Suicune when it enters. Okay, finally now clicks Thunderbolt for some measly chip on Regice. Out comes Fori from Empo. And a spike definitely makes that Zapdos a much better progress maker. The spike does, however, invite in Charizard, but as we saw, the Zapdos is a decent enough answer, and with all those Roar turns as well, recovered back to full HP, actually. Yeah, just through leftovers. Okay, now comes the Sand, and you have to wonder, Is Claydol the only rock resist that Caloom has? Wow, counter just drops Claydol. And now if T-Tar can get in on a Regice, for example, then rock moves are completely free. Empo actually going Blissey here on the Salamence, eats a Brick Break for it, and that is looking to be in range of another. Wow, and catches the switch out to Jirachi with own switch to Charizard. Oh man, in comes T-Tar, however. Is this in HP Grass range? I think it's just shy of it, unfortunately. Okay, Metagross is another Rock Resist, so not free Rock Slide spam for T-Tar. And now these players are just kind of shuffling Pokemon around. Of course, Claydol being dead is quite bad for Caloom because, you know, spikes are going to be permanent. And a lot of these Pokemon really don't appreciate spikes. Oh my god, just clicking Toxic on the Jirachi, catches the Zard. And yeah, putting in the T of TSS. A lot of the time you just see the spikes in the sand, but Empo definitely spreading that Toxic as well. And putting a lot of these valuable Pokemon on a timer. But yeah, Regice is particularly one of those Pokemon that does not appreciate spikes at all, because it just doesn't have good recovery outside of what, like rest. And as a defensive, or especially defensive wall, I suppose. Oh, interesting. Rain Dance, some Weather Clear. Weather Clear gonna help with, well, it's gonna help Suicune actually get Leftovers Chip Heal if it weren't Toxic, and it would help with, yeah, I mean, a lot of Pokemon on Caloom's team would appreciate the sand being gone, so I suppose it makes sense to fit that in somewhere. Right, another Toxic attempt here from Jirachi, really just trying to Toxic everyone. Empo going to take this opportunity to get the sand back up, and now with the spike down, things are just looking bad for Caloom, to be honest. Zard is Toxic and quite low. Suicune is Toxic and quite low. Zap I don't think has wasted... Okay, it's blown one sleep turn, but it's going to be able to blow another one here quite easily. And here comes Regice, taking more Spikes Chip. Actually, with the Sleep Talk pulling a Thunderbolt. Okay, was Zap Sleep Talking earlier as well? Because if that's the case, then those sleep turns have reset. Out comes Blissey, and honestly, Empo wouldn't even mind if Blissey got exploded here by Regice, because it doesn't really beat that. I mean, Zard is basically dealt with, Suicune is basically dealt with. The Salamence is DD, which means, you know, if Blissey's at full, sure, you can deal with it, but yeah, doesn't really beat anything else. And in fact, just lets Blissey take a Meteor Mash to get the Thunder Wave off. This is now looking very bad. Yeah, Metagross being parried is rough. Out comes Zapdos, which is a pain for Caloom. So I'm curious if... Oh my god, and the faster Roar pull, that is brutal. Will we see Blissey come out? Okay. I mean, if you're Empo, you'd like to get Sand back up. Okay, now comes the boom. You can get permanent sand if you just immediately go T-Tar. There we go. And Mence is Leftovers, so DD Leftovers. Out comes Jirachi. Will be, in all likelihood, clicking Toxic here, as Mence will probably... Oh, no Earthquake from Mence, actually. Nice crit, but yeah, probably just going to get Wish stalled now. Some more DDs might help a little bit. But yeah, without Refresh, which this set could be, it's going to be a little tough. Yeah, I think if Caloom had Refresh, it would have been clicked on that turn, so unlikely to have it. Suicune is, yeah, 50%, and Toxic, again, very unlikely Suicune on the lead has Sub and Rest. So yeah, this might just be over. We didn't even see the 6th from Empo either. Okay, Fortress Sack, which actually lives and can just click boom on whoever comes out next. Probably, yep, Charizard. But again, Zard is so weak. It's actually T-Tar that will be sacked. But at this point, it seems to be kind of unwinding. I mean, Metagross is parried, Suicune is Toxic. Unless Caloom is disguising, like, the best rest Suicune ever, then even then, I mean, against a defensive Zapdos, it seems like you can easily get PP stalled. Maybe Fire Punch Crit is just gonna make things go even faster. But hey, Caloom is fighting at least. Want to see who the 6th is, maybe. Toxic plus Sandstorm should take out Charizard now. And it is all up to Suicune with 38 HP. Out comes Zapdos on the Surf. Again, very much nailing home that this Suicune doesn't have rest. Sleep Talk, Roar Pull, not going to do anything. But it is the slow Toxic chip. And yeah, Empo with the... showing, honestly, the value of Toxic in that TSS structure, because they had the spikes, they had the sand, but the Toxic really did a number on this Suicune and the Charizard. Zard would have been a decent enough threat, right? I mean, we only saw Flamethrower and Hidden Power, but last two could be... I mean, it could be Beat Up, it could be Sub Punch to threaten Blissey. And with that kind of set, I mean, every Pokemon revealed for Empo is quite threatened. So being able to Toxic that Zard and really put it on a timer, really limit the amount of turns it can get, really, really valuable. On top of that, turn 1 Toxic on the Suicune basically rendered it useless. When, again, Suicune's matchup here a little bit worse than Charizard's, but still not terrible. You can find opportunities to get it in, and with some weather clear and stuff like that, who knows. But anyway, nicely played here from Empo. Going to take the set 2-0. And unfortunately, I believe Caloom is knocked out now. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but this was loser's bracket. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then feel free to subscribe to Revival Tournaments. And if you want to donate to the prize pool to these competitors, then by all means, feel free to do so as well. But that's all from me. My name's Wild Rumpus, and I will see you guys sometime in the future with more ADV.